Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
We're going to start off with holding the hook. Essentially, there are two methods, the pen method and the spoon method. Starting off with the pen method. This method implies that you hold your hook as you do a pen, so your thumb is resting on the flat part of the hook, your index finger is resting on the top side of the hook, and all other fingers are relaxed. As you can see, when I'm holding my hook, my thumb is resting on the flat part of the hook. Again, my index finger is resting on the top of the hook, and all of my other fingers are nice and relaxed. An alternative method is the spoon method, and you hold the spoon as if you're mixing cake batter. The hook is held in the palm of your hand, while your thumb is resting on the flat part of the hook, and all other fingers are relaxed and on the underside of the hook. Once again, when I'm holding the hook, it is held in the palm of my hand, my thumb is resting on the top side of the hook, and my other fingers are placed on the underside of the hook. We're going to move on to making a slip knot, and in order to start any crochet project, you need to have a starting stitch, and this is achieved by making a slip knot. It's really easy. What you want to do is hold the yarn in between your thumb and your ring finger, then wrap it around your index and your middle finger to create a loop. After you've created your loop, you just want to pull the yarn behind and through the loop. Then you want to pull once again, and you're going to tighten this knot, and that completes your slip knot. Before we actually start crocheting, we have to understand how to hold the yarn. It's very simple. Essentially what you do is you take your opposite hand, the hand opposite of the one holding the hook, and you want to weave the yarn through your fingers. Notice how the yarn is falling over my index finger. Then you just want to position your hook, and you can use your index finger to guide the yarn as you crochet. Now we're ready to work a foundation chain. Essentially, crocheting nearly always starts with a series of chains. When working in patterns, you will be asked to work a certain amount of chains. It is important that you understand how to count these chains. Making chains is very easy. You essentially wrap the yarn over your hook and then pull through the loop on your hook. Keep in mind, the loop on your hook does not count as a chain. So far, I have one chain. Once again, you yarn over and pull through. You are going to continue this until you have 10 chains total. That completes our chain, And as you can see, we have 10 chains total. Once again, this does not include the loop that is on your hook. You may struggle with keeping the right tension and rhythm going, but regardless of how slow or fast you're going, make sure that your chains are of equal size and not too loose or too tight. Let's talk about turning chains. When you're working in rows or rounds, you have to add a specific number of chains at the beginning of each row or round to bring the hook up to the right height for the stitch to be worked. You have to think of these as buffers for each round. With that being said, let's move on to the fundamental stitches of crochet. We're going to start off with single crochet. It is the shortest crochet stitch and is very dense and sturdy. It requires 1 turning chain. Since we are looking to start a new row, we have to add our turning chain. For single crochet, we have to chain 1 for our turning chain. So I'm chaining 1. As you can see, we now have a total of 11 chains. Now, to complete a single crochet, we have to skip the first chain from the hook, meaning skip the turning chain. Afterwards, we are simply going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook and every chain across. To make a single crochet, you insert your hook into the chain, you yarn over, pull through. Now you have 2 loops on your hook. Then you want to yarn over once again, and you're going to pull through both loops on your hook. That completes the first single crochet. We're going to repeat this 9 more times until we have 10 stitches total. So once again, I'm going to that next chain, and I'm going to insert my hook into the top loop. Then I'm going to yarn over and pull through a loop. Now I have 2 loops on my hook. Then I'm simply going to yarn over and pull through both loops on my hook. That completes my second single crochet. We have now completed our first row of single crochet. As you can see, I have 10 single crochets total. We're going to move on to our second row of single crochet, and in order to do so, we have to chain 1 as our turning chain. Then, we have to turn our work over so that we are working in the right direction. What I'm going to do is skip the first chain, meaning my turning chain, and I'm going to single crochet into the second stitch from the hook and every stitch across. Keep in mind, a stitch looks like a V, so I'm going under 2 loops essentially to create a single crochet. Once again, you are inserting your hook under the stitch. As you can see, once again, it looks like a V. And what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over like we did in the first row, pull through so that you have 2 loops on your hook. Then I'm going to yarn over once again, and I'm going to pull through both loops on my hook. That completes my first single crochet. I'm going to repeat this 9 more times in the next 9 stitches so that I have a total of 10 single crochet in row 2. That completes row 2 of our single crochet. To continue on with your fabric, you simply want to chain 1, turn your work, and repeat what we just did in row 2. For the best results, make sure that you are counting your stitches after each row. In this case, you should always have 10 stitches after each row. Moving on to half double crochet, which is the stitch in between single and double crochet. It is firm and durable, but not as dense as single crochet. It requires 2 turning chains. Going back to our chain 10, we're actually going to work 10 half double crochets. To do so, we have to start off by chaining 2 as our turning chain. Then, we have 12 chains total, as opposed to 11, which we had with our single crochet. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to skip our turning chains, meaning skip the first 2 chains from the hook. And we are going to work a half double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook and every chain across. To do so, you yarn over first this time. Then, you insert your hook into the chain, yarn over once again, and pull through so that you have 3 loops on your hook. Afterwards, you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. You are going to repeat these steps 9 more times until you have a total of 10 half double crochet in row 1. That completes row 1 of our half double crochet, and we're actually going to move on to row 2. In order to do so, we have to start off with a turning chain. So what we're going to do is chain 2. Then, we are going to turn our work so that we are working in the right direction. Afterwards, we are going to half double crochet into the 3rd stitch from the hook and every stitch across. Once again, like we did in single crochet, we are crocheting underneath the stitch, meaning both loops in the V. So, to make a half double crochet, I'm once again yarning over. Then I'm locating my stitch and inserting my hook underneath the stitch. Then I'm yarning over and I'm pulling through so that I have 3 loops on my hook. Then I'm going to yarn over once again and pull through all 3 loops on my hook. We are going to half double crochet into every stitch across, meaning the next 9 stitches, so that we have a total of 10 half double crochets total. Remember, in order to crochet into a complete stitch, you have to crochet under both loops of the V. That completes row 2 of our half double crochet. To continue on with your fabric, you want to chain 2, turn your work, and repeat what we just did in row 2. Remember, for the best results, make sure that you are counting your stitches after each row, meaning you should have a total of 10 stitches in each row. Moving on to double crochet, which produces a more open and softer stitch. The stitch is taller and resembles a post. It requires 3 turning chains. Once again, we're going to go back to our original chain 10, and this time we are going to add an extra 3 chains for our turning chain. Now we have 13 chains total. We're going to skip the first 3 chains from the hook, and we are going to complete 1 double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook and every chain across for a total of 10 double crochets. To make a double crochet, you yarn over and you're going to insert your hook into the 4th chain from the hook. Then you're going to yarn over and pull through so that you have a total of 3 loops on your hook. Afterwards, you're going to yarn over, and this time you are going to pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Then you are going to yarn over once again and pull through the remaining 2 loops on your hook. You are going to repeat this until you have a total of 10 double crochet in row 1. That completes row 1, and we are going to move on to row 2. To begin row 2, we have to start off by making our turning chain. For double crochet, that means that we chain 3. Afterwards, we are going to turn our work and complete 1 double crochet into the 4th stitch from the hook and every stitch across. Once again, to complete a double crochet, you yarn over, insert your hook into the stitch, yarn over once again, and pull through so that you have 3 loops on your hook. Afterwards, you want to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on your hook. Then you are going to yarn over again and pull through the last 2 loops on your hook. You are going to repeat this in the next 9 stitches for a total of 10 double crochet in row 2. That completes our row of double crochet. To continue on with this fabric, chain 3, turn your work, and repeat row 2. For the best results, make sure that you are counting your stitches after each row. Once again, you should always have 10 stitches. Moving on to treble crochet, which is a tall stitch and is often used in conjunction with various other stitches. It requires 4 turning chains. Once again, we are back at our chain 10, and this time around we are going to add 4 chains for our turning chain. Then, we have 14 chains total. We are going to skip the first 4 chains from the hook and treble crochet into the 5th chain from the hook and every chain across. To complete a treble crochet, you want to wrap your yarn around your hook twice. Then, we are going to go into that 5th chain from the hook, and we're going to pull through a loop. Now, we have 4 loops total on our hook. We're going to yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops on our hook. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. Yarn over again, pull through another 2 loops. And lastly, yarn over and pull through the last 2 loops on our hook. That completes our first treble crochet. We are going to complete 1 treble crochet into the next 9 chains for a total of 10 treble crochet in row 1. That completes row 1. And for row 2, we are going to start off by chaining 4 for our turning chain. Then we are going to turn our work. Then we are going to complete 1 treble crochet into the 5th stitch from the hook and every stitch across. That completes our second row of treble crochet. To continue on with this fabric, chain 4, turn your work, and complete a treble crochet into every stitch across. Remember to always count your stitches. Lastly, there's the slip stitch, which is commonly used to get from one point to another. It has very little height and requires 1 turning chain. We're going to start off by completing that first turning chain. Then, we're going to turn our work, and we're going to complete one slip stitch into the second stitch from the hook and every stitch across. To complete a slip stitch, you insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through so that there are 2 loops on the hook. Then, you pull the first loop through the second loop, and that completes your first slip stitch. That completes our row of slip stitches and this video. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to follow on Instagram.